Welcome Pisces to your August 2016 general reading. This month I'll be incorporating love messages into the reading. And within the next couple of weeks I'll also be posting the mid-month love readings for each of the signs. So look out for those. So what's in store for Pisces for the month of August? What messages and advice can you give them? And how to best utilize those energies in August for their highest good and for the highest good of all. I'm just going to move these across a little bit because I don't think all the cards are in view of the camera. Like with all the readings this month, there's been a real focus on new beginnings, new starts. And they're positive ones though, nothing too drastic, but just a movement and growth. I feel that there's been a lot of growth energy coming up, as well as changes and new cycles starting. And again, with you Pisces, it's very clear with that also, because your first card is the Fool. So it is a new cycle. You're starting August with almost like a blank slate, or feeling of starting something, starting all over again on some level, and really trusting and moving forward now. There's a bit of excitement. I feel like there is a little bit of excitement around as well. Whatever it relates to, it may well be the birth of a child or pregnancy or the start of a new business enterprise which promises abundance and growth and creativity. You might even be buying a new home, anything like that. So there is something that brings some changes and excitement, and I feel like you've already experienced a little bit of that as you come into August. You've already had a taste of the changes. There's also a little bit of naivety, I feel, as well. So whatever it is, you're not completely sure about it. It's so new, in fact, that you are a bit naive as to where it's headed. What you're in the dark about? Well, it's the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a water sign, so that's you Pisces, Scorpio or Cancer. So you're not quite sure about either yourself or someone else that has these qualities. Maybe the feeling that you don't, as you're starting this new cycle or this new phase, the King might be saying that maybe you're not quite sure of your own knowledge. Maybe you're a little bit protective of yourself because you are unsure. A lack of caring, or maybe even a lack of emotional stability, feeling that emotionally you're stable. Maybe you just don't feel that way at the moment, or maybe there's someone around you that doesn't quite feel emotionally stable. And I think it may well be linked into change. Maybe they're unsure about this change and it's destabilizing them somewhat. Why there is this kind of instability with this yang energy, it may be related to a period of waiting for things to develop. Maybe you started this new cycle and you're still waiting for things to get moving. You've started the cycle, but you're just waiting on things to evolve and develop, because there's not much actively happening at the moment. So it's like the first stage of a project, and it's a transition, and maybe the transition is a little overwhelming to you and your sense of stability and control over your environment, or to someone in your life, a male energy or a yang energy. So they feel overwhelmed by this transition. Your advice card is the Death card. So it definitely is a transition. With the Death card in this position, it's saying it's inevitable. Whatever the transition is, it's inevitable. Don't try to resist the changes because it's useless. It's inevitable. It has to move forward. The energy is saying it's done and dusted. You've got nothing left to grasp onto. It may feel a little overwhelming for you, but you do have to move forward. And it's just best to do that, to let it go, clean slate, cut out what needs to be cut out to move forward to the next cycle. Because maybe this King of Cups is a little resistant and a little insecure about it, and he's kind of holding that energy back, he or she, holding the changes back out of a little bit of fear, because it's way too much. In actual fact, the energy is really, really forceful and strong because you have the Eight of Swords and the Fool and the Death card. So be the undertaker of the change. You take control of the change rather than the change taking control of you. That way you have more control over it. If you are insecure in any way and unstable, the death energy or the transformation will be more difficult. And that's indicative of the Ace of Swords. It is a new period. It is a new phase. There will be obstacles, but the obstacles really depend on how much you take control of the situation. There's still things being worked out behind the scenes that you can't see. Not everything has come to light yet, and that's the energy you're moving into, that things still haven't come to light yet. And be patient with that. Maybe you're impatient, or maybe things have moved too quickly for you. Maybe the Fool just happened. You leapt off the cliff and it was too much too soon. And then you found yourself in a position where you couldn't go back. And maybe you wanted to go back because you realized too late that it was overwhelming. With the Ace of Swords, what will become illuminated for you is also a sense of freedom. So even though there is, with this Death card, I do feel a sense of freedom and courage and mental energy that will propel you forward. It's also the right time. Timing seems to feel very strong here as well. It's like it was inevitable, and this came at the right time. It happened when it was meant to happen, and here it is. And with the inevitable, there is, like I said, things that haven't come to light yet, and the unexpected. Maybe there's a fear of the unexpected, but do expect the unexpected. Because I also feel like there is that fear of anticipation, not knowing what's going to happen next. I don't think it's all bad at all. But your mental, your worry, the stress of the mental thoughts can actually make it worse than it actually seems. This also may relate to a career change or a job change. It's quite momentous, whatever it is. Moving house, moving state, a career change, and everything feels so new and requires more strength, mental strength from you to move forward. You really need to be strong mentally to deal with this. But ultimately, you're doing it because you see the purpose of the growth. You want to grow, you want to evolve and to create more. So you need to go through this stress. And in terms of stress on a scale of 1 to 10, it's not a 3 of Swords kind of stress, but you may feel like it is, because it is all new. And it does require a lot of energy to move forward. Mental energy, not fire energy, which is the wands. It's mental energy. It's like you really have to push yourself outside of the mental construct that you have lived by. With the Seven of Swords, I also feel like there might be a sense of unease with the decision that you've made, because you have actually done this. That's what I also feel. Whether this new phase started directly because of your action, or as a result of past actions that then built up steam and eventually it started the new cycle. Either way, I feel like you have a sense of unease about it. And that's what the Seven of Swords is also saying. You just don't feel quite comfortable with it. You're kind of watching your back a little bit, because you just feel like things can either stab you in the back, or the sense of feeling frightfully overjoyed. The joy meaning that the change, you do sense that the change is good on one level, but you're actually frightened of the changes as well. The numerology of this whole reading is a 5, and 5s are all about change. So there you have it. There is change coming up, reevaluating, movement, a lot of coming and going sort of energy. There is a lot of movement, a lot of mental energy that needs to be focused on one area to achieve success. I'm just going to draw a card from the Midnight Sun Tarot. Oops. Maybe more clarity. Oops, there we go. Oh, Judgment. Now, I have focused more on a general interpretation of this in work, lifestyle changes, movement, physical movement from one place to another. If we're going to look at it from a relationship perspective, then again, it can be interpreted in that same way, that you took a leap of faith. You wanted something and you finally got it, and you took action and took that leap of faith, but you're still feeling a little bit uneasy about it. There's no going back. Whether it is that you left someone, and I actually feel more that that's the case. That's kind of more the energy that I'm being given, that you left something behind. You took a leap of faith and you trusted that by leaving it behind, it would give you a stronger sense of self and purpose and new direction. Rather than starting a new relationship, I don't feel that energy so much. But if you have started a new relationship, it's a momentous one at the very least. It's very momentous. But it doesn't feel like you're comfortable with it yet. You might find that you're pregnant out of the blue. You may have wanted it, but then when it happens, you might be freaking out about it a little bit. That's the other interpretation. Now, with the Judgment card, the Judgment card is the reawakening. As with all Judgment cards in other tarot decks, it is a reawakening. It's a rebirth on some level. So you have the Death card, but you also have the rebirth. So with this change is the rebirth. And it's removing the old clothes that you wore, the old thoughts, the old emotional patterns, the old ideas and belief systems and structures that you had in place. it has to change. You're taking all of that off your energy body, your physical body, and you are being reborn. It's also very much a new consciousness, so rebirthing of a new consciousness and liberating yourself. I do feel like a sense of liberation, and I said that with the Ace of Swords, a sense of freedom. So there is a sense of liberation that comes with this card, or the general energy of this reading anyway. Renewal and reawakening. So starting to see with new eyes. But you're not quite comfortable with it yet, obviously, because it feels like such a profound change that it might take you a while to sit with this energy and to feel comfortable with it, because it does come with a certain level of uncertainty. It feels like on one level a crisis for you, but the judgment is also about what the reawakening of something that was laying dormant within you. So what is it what are those strong desires? And this is a very strong reading. What are those strong desires that are reawakening within you is the question that needs to be answered with the Judgment card. Very strong reading, Pisces, for this month. I hope that the reading was useful to you on some level. Blessings to you all, and I'll see you soon.